really big feat. We're going to set number 3 on Nimbus. I'm sure herO's probably shaking in his boots.
Keep in mind, if he wins this game, he'll be on a 6-game winning streak to get out of the finals in first place.
Wow.
All right, let's go to Nimbus here. Protoss versus Protoss. Can herO bring it back? Or are we going to have a 3-0?
Up here in the top left in the red, impressing a lot of people. He's up 2-0 against herO. It's Stats.
Looks like he's not even worried about his opponent. He was down near the bottom right. In blue, it's herO from CJ Entis, the fan favorite tonight. Not living up to it yet, though. Is that Moonblade and pastry time? Wow.
Moonglade's face, man, when he makes that little smirk, it cracks me up every time. Love that guy.
We got Moonglade, Moonji, one of our salmons, and a League of Legends commentator in our midst.
Yeah.
A live game. Press 1 if a live game.
Bible thumb.
That's a lot of probes he's got queued up there. He's going to have a very late gateway with that. In fact, looks like both players going for that. We see oftentimes on this map, because the expansion is so greedily taken often by players, Stargate builds are really popular. We see rushed, Oracle play on this map a lot. Neither player choosing to do that, choosing to go for the better probe build, getting that economy up. Not taking any real risks here.
Yeah, just your standard economy 13 gate, pretty normal. Gas is now coming out for both guys, same timing here.
So we're going to have to wait and see what these two are picking.
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to see a Twilight Council. And I think actually it's going to be herO's. That pylon up on the high ground here, making it a lot harder to actually scout and identify what's going on.
Yeah. Like that pylon, that little area on the back of your base, it's definitely good for getting that backdoor expansion, but as you guys are seeing here, you can also hide some tech a little bit up there. It's just a little bit harder to get that scout, like you were saying.
Yeah. All right. So the map is wide open. It's black. Nobody scouted anything. No one's moved out. The only real variation we have in builds here is the pylon placement for Stats. And, everyone's holding their breath in the studio right now, waiting to find out what these two are about to do. Look at the gas timing. It is straight up identical. I mean, 4 gas difference right now. Sentries for both, Mothership cores for both. Straight up the same build.
Even the pylons come down at the same exact time.
Draw a line of symmetry on that production tab.
And you know what? With this kind of build, you get the Sentry out very early, get that energy building, have the Mothership core for scouting as well, and we could just see Nexuses from both players in a bit of a longer game here. I would not be surprised at all, especially at cross spawns.
Yeah. See that Stalker coming out now? Variation here versus the second Sentry for herO.
KT coach.
Coming down, representing. Obviously a good day for KT so far.
Yeah, definitely. Gotta wonder what he's saying to Stats and what he's telling him to do these days. Really developing this player. Just slowly coming out of not the darkness. I mean, he's played really well in Pro League as well, but he's just starting to become really, really good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Stats has always been a great player, but he's really showing some really fine skills in this tournament today. Really showing off everything he's capable of very consistently. I think that's really important to note. 2 more gates here with the Stargate. Robotics going up for Stats. Stats just really playing this one, I would say, a lot safer. And this probe, they come in here, try to get a little bit more information about the Nexus, but seeing those sentries on the Stalker lets him know pretty much what's going on. There's not much mystery here. He's going to send another hallucination scout as well, just to completely verify, as you can see Stats is doing now as well.
Yeah. And of course, because Stats was not able to get the scout initially with that probe. He will send in the wrong direction first.
Yeah, and he's leaving it down there. That leaves him open to hide tech, and he may even potentially do like a double Stargate switch or something later. That's something that Sora is more known to do, but...
Yeah. Do see that very often, you know, on these very big maps.
He's just leaving that potential there.
Yeah. Especially after seeing the scout of the 1 Stargate. Something you can do. Pylon coming down right away.
Yeah, so down over at the bottom left. Keep this in mind, guys.
You know, I would not be surprised at all if that's what he goes for. Unless it's like really late DTs, but like, I don't know.
I mean, I think he's just going to leave the pylon there to keep this option open. He doesn't have to go double Stargate right now if that's what he chooses. He has to be concerned, of course, about the... okay, it looks like he's going to do it. He's obviously got to be concerned about these Phoenixes that are out right now, but I think he just, you know, has just enough units to where he's not going to lose too much here. And he's going to switch into his own Phoenixes. Surprise, surprise.
These 2 Phoenixes getting a really good scout of the base now. Stats. Sees no Robotics Bay just yet. Could tip him off a little bit, you know, if he comes for another pass and he still sees no, you know, advancement in tech and no real more units being made, he might be like, what are you doing? Like, where are all these minerals and gas that you're getting from 2 bases right now going?
Yeah. That's exactly what we talked about yesterday when we had the same situation.
Yeah, and look at that. Very nice pick-off here. Looks like he loses 1 Phoenix, but he gets 3 sentries. Or he doesn't even lose
he didn't lose it. It got down to like 28. Some superb micro there. But yeah, you got to start to wonder, where's that gas now? And we saw this happen already. You know, this weird suspicious feeling of he might be hiding something. Notice he puts the 28 hit point Phoenix to the back, but still gets targeted. Both of these players obviously on top of the world when it comes to control.
Yeah, it's unbelievable, really.
And these little things are just these amazing things you could do in StarCraft 2. That's why it's such a beautiful game, is you can do these tiny little things that make such a huge difference, and that's why these guys are pros at the top level. All right, Phoenix count rising here. About to be closing the gap because herO is stopped at 5. Cannons are going down. He's not messing around when it comes to this Phoenix defense.
herO now, you know, like you just mentioned, after the 5 Phoenixes, he's just like transitioning out of it totally. He's getting the Twilight Council. Of course, can be used for blink and charge later, a little bit later, but also for the +2 that comes. And he's getting that Robotics Bay as well.
Because his Phoenixes are out here so aggressively, oh, he's going to get this Mothership port. Looks like a nice pick off there. Because his Phoenixes are out here so aggressively and he has so much aggressive control over these bases, it's basically impossible for Stats to take a 3rd base. herO will probably see it and kill that first probe. So that's something that herO can get ahead in, that he's doing right now, is taking that base because he knows that there's the possibility of the Nexus. And here we see that fan out because he knows, okay, something's missing. What are you hiding? Probably hidden Phoenixes. And now he's going to find out right now, oh, God, you're doing it.
Yeah, no defense here. He has to put down that Nexus cannon, but again, these Phoenixes very, very tanky. Can go right into the main base now, but this Mothership Core having double energy here will be able to put down those 2 Nexus cannons.
Uh-oh, but he's going to catch these Phoenixes at a bit of an awkward angle here, too. And herO is losing a bit of air control right now. He splits 1 Phoenix off from the group in order to just sacrifice 1 to save the many. Many in this case being not so many, in fact, but better than losing all of them.
Yeah.
6-3 now, and he's just going to go over here and ignore these Stalkers and pick up a bunch of probes. His 3rd base is very late, just now being started. In fact, at an odd location, not at an expected location, so hero's not going to know about it right away.
Yeah. Wonder if Stats was actually planning on putting down a Nexus down there at the regular 3rd base. Because it would put him up to 4 bases, which would be very far ahead of herO, but maybe he was just faking it, trying to show it to herO, saying, hey, I don't have a fake or you know, a proxy 3rd base down there at the bottom of the map. You know, I am actually trying to take my 3rd base now, and so maybe it'll give herO a kind of a false sense of confidence and say, oh, you don't have your 3rd base up, but in fact he does.
Yeah, I think that's definitely the idea here. Now, Twilight Council is very late for Stats with all of this, so his +2 is going to be very late as well. You can see that herO has that already on lockdown. He's getting it out very quickly here, and again, in very herO-like fashion, he loves his mid-game Stalkers. He's really made a name for himself in this tournament with his PvP Stalkers for this, especially that game you were talking about earlier with the incredible Blink Stalker control. And look at this, picks off a Phoenix, and he's moving across. He just really wants to put some heavy pressure on a possible 3rd base. What he doesn't know is that the third base is already complete, and there's that third base, that idea again of, oh yeah, his third base is so late. I could probably force it to cancel, and he's gonna be so happy with this. Coming over here, forcing this to cancel, he's gonna be so happy with it, but he just doesn't know the reality of the situation here.
Yeah. Very, very true. We do see 17 Stalkers out on the map, but it doesn't look like they're all together. We see some coming across the map. Now, a huge blank forward onto the Immortal when he's not totally grouped up here. The Stalkers come from the back now, but is it just too many? The Colossus in the back as well for stats here.
I think this is a very nervous decision. Look at hero's face in the player cam. This is a very nervous decision, and I don't know, man. hero's not playing it like himself today, and that's one of those decisions that for him now probably feels so terrible, because it's not like he's thinking about it as like it's game ending, but he's like, God, I couldn't snipe his Nexus, and I lost so many Stalkers. I got really greedy with that blink there, what I was thinking. But at least I have my Nexus up, right? At least I've had mine up for much longer, and I've got the better probe count, which he still does have quite significantly the better probe count. But this base is running,
yeah,
and he's about to be able to catch up super fast. He can make 4 probes at a time, as he's doing now.
Yeah, and especially after taking such a huge chunk out of the army of herO here, stats. He's just so far ahead. As you just pointed at the screen, the army supply for stats is just so much higher than hero's right now. He's going to have 4 next-sided 3. He's going to have such a better economy. This is just not looking good at all for herO.
Yep. And he hasn't even shown the gases at that base, too. herO just doesn't know. The gases could go up to 8 now. But if he goes over and sees it, he's going to be like, what? You still don't even have your gases? He does go and check, as something's feeling suspicious for him here. He's going right to the correct location. In fact, funny as it is.
It's that pro gamer sense, man. He's like, oh, you have a hidden base. Where is it? It's probably down there. Yeah, it is.
And he immediately, upon seeing that his base has been scouted, positions his army in such a way to defend it, as he knows that there are Blink Stalkers out there still. And in herO fashion, man, he loves his faster upgrades. He loves his mid-game Blink Stalkers. He's moving over there with a big chunk of them. +2 is almost done here for stats. He can even upgrade it temporarily. Okay, he sees the Stalkers. Now he can actually try to trap them, perhaps. And herO has to make a tough choice, because if you go in there, there's no going back. There is no going back if he goes in there.
Oh, and he's going up the ramp right away.
He's going in there, man, and he's going to get trapped.
He's getting so out of position right now. He may be able to kill some pros, but look at this. The Zealots from the back as well.
Oh, this is looking rough. Let's see how well he can maneuver. He's done so well with his Blink Stalkers in the past. Let's see what he can make of this. He's got so much going on at home during all of this. Meanwhile, he's doing a Warp Prism drop. But these Stalkers are going to be able to escape out the back. A few of them. A huge loss here. Let's see how much his Warp Prism drop gets done. It can actually be used in conjunction with some of these Stalkers. He's going to distract these units. And then that Warp Prism is going to go into the back in the natural.
Yep. Charge finally finishes here for stats, so he will be able to clean up these Stalkers. Got to get a look on that Warp Prism drop. A huge warp in here. Phoenix is not able to take out that Warp Prism as well. And now Stats has to bring his whole army back. He has to defend this now.
But he killed a ton of the units of herO. And he's also now totally control the map once he cleans up these Zealots. In fact, he's going to need to warp in a lot more units if he wants to clean up those Zealots.
Yeah.
They're about to have +3.
You know what? Stats is making a really big decision here. He doesn't want to go all the way back. He just wants to go for the attack. He knows that herO just used a huge warp-in his main base, in Stats' main base, that is, and he's going to slowly clean it up here. And he's going to try to group up here and go for a big game-ending attack. All this while, herO did have double Robo and was producing 2 Colossi at a time. So his Colossus count is huge at the moment. He's about to go up to 6, and he has the +3 as well.
He has a +3, and he's 1 Colossus up right now. In this fight, really good splitting. On the other hand, by Stats, herO with a bit of shakiness here, not enough confidence. That Dark Shrine he's getting desperately here is about to finish, and that's going to allow him to harass these 2 locations. All he has to do is kill the cannons. But still, man, he's in a rough spot because that +3 advantage is not going to last forever, and this base is very much under attack.
With that huge economy that Stats has, look at that army supply right now. He's up basically 45. He's got 4 Archons on the way right now. He's going to just have a gigantic army. At this point, it's not even going to matter how many Colossi herO has if he's just this far down in army supply.
Yeah. Stats does not have to attack directly into this either. Obviously, he's going to wait for his own +3 to finish before he does anything like that. Concerning, though, will be these attacks. They've got Zealots and DTs in them, so the Zealots are going to help kill that cannon. The DT is going to do the rest. And that's going to be very difficult to deal with because that base especially is so far away from help. All right, this triggers the attack. He's running right in. Nexus cannon goes down. He hesitates here. He's scared of that time warp. He wants that time warp to get dropped first before he fights if he can. Look at how many probes are going down. He's dropping down to 30 probes. So many probes lost here. His economy is in some serious trouble.
Oh, and the fight's going down. Huge time warp on the Colossi in the back here for Stats, and herO's got a really good split on his Colossi. 2 more pop out here, but is it enough? It doesn't look like it. A ton of gateway units coming through here for Stats. A big warp in by herO. This one is really close,
herO's control is insane. herO's control is so good here. He's got Colossi coming from 2 flanks. He's got the better spread. And even though he was a bit timid in this fight, he's absolutely going to, well, is he going to take it? Let's see. There's a lot of reinforcements coming up here. He's got the better position at the top of the ramp. And Stats feel pressure to attack because he lost so many probes. You know, this is an attack that if he hadn't lost all those probes, he wouldn't want to take. But he just continues to use these units as best as he can, you know, knowing that he needs to force something. That was a crazy fight, actually.
Yeah.
Warpins on both sides.
Unbelievably close. And in the meantime now, herO has 4 bases now. Stats stopped, herO stopped on mining at Stats' 3rd base as well, so Stats doesn't have that good of an economy. Look at his minerals and gas right now.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to stop the mining at the 3rd base of herO, but look at this again. herO could even kill at Nexus now.
herO's already ahead in army supply.
Oh, look at this.
Oh, wow, now he's trapped here. And there goes a time warp. Not even a recall is going to save him now. Stalker's wing forward. GG. herO taking an incredible micro fight. That micro is splitting the control of the Colossi. The positioning was so patient. And Stats, he just lost so much. He felt so compelled to attack. He basically had to. Had he returned home and tried to stabilize, he would have been way too far behind in economy. His DT and Zealot warp and defense was lackluster. There was only 1 cannon at each base. No way he's going to save that 4th base to the bottom left because it's just so far away from everything. You know, what are you going to do? Recall back over there? Your whole army's out of position and trapped in that base location.
Yeah. And of course, from our perspective, we can get the numbers right in front of us. We know the army supply, but Stats doesn't really have all the numbers in front of him. So in that position, he's like, oh no, my Nexi are going down. I can't defend this. I have to attack now. And that's the decision he makes there. I really have to say, really nice split-second decision-making out of herO. He's like, okay, I'm just gonna do it this way. I'm gonna defend at home, send out these Zealot and DT attacks. He makes that Dark Shrine at like 15, 20 minutes into the game, and he uses it to win the game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
These decision-making moments where you have to make tough choices with the cards you've been dealt in the game where you didn't know about a base for so long. It's you know, and keep in mind that Stats made that base because he felt uncomfortable, because he felt he was behind himself. He had to take a risk, and risks pay off. So that was a great